Assalamu alaikum, welcome to my channel. Before we proceed, kindly subscribe to my channel and share it with your friends. So today we are going to solve Cambridge IGCSE Mathematics Paper 4 Extended, Variant 4-2, May-June 2020, question number 4 onwards. Question number 4. We have been given a quadrilateral and it has been broken into two parts by making two triangles. Calculate QR. So if we want to find QR, what do you have? You have two sides and an included angle. Whenever you have two sides and an included angle, it means we have to use the cos rule. This is the rule: a square is equal to b square plus c square minus 2bc cos a. Let's just look at the triangle that we are interested in it. We want to find QR. If we want to find the side, we must have the opposite angle. So A is going to be your QR and cos A, which is the angle, will be this one. Let's just replace what we have. And B and C can be either of the side. So we have QR square is equal to 150 square plus 120 square minus 2 times 150, 120 cos 25. This will give us 4272.91. Write more numbers, don't round it or anything, because we want to square root the whole answer. As this is a square, we don't want QR square, we want QR. So QR is going to be this whole thing squared. If you put it more digits after the decimal, you will get a more accurate answer. And this will give us 65.367. Now you can round it to one decimal. So 65.4 meters. This is 65.4 meters. Part B, calculate RS. When you want to calculate a side, and if angles are given, we can use the sine rule. For that, we need a side and one opposite angle. We have been given the side 150 meters, we do not have the opposite angle. We can find that by using some property of angles in triangle, that when you add all of the angles, it equals to 180. So if I want to find one side, I can subtract from 180 the two angles that I have, which is 55 and 45. I will get 80. So this angle is 80 degrees. Now that I have a side and an opposite angle, I can use the sine rule, which is A over sine A is equal to B over sine B is equal to C over sine C. We need only 4 values. If we have 3 values, we can find the 4th value. So SR, this is the angle opposite it, 55. So you write there sine 55 is equal to 150 and the angle opposite it, which is sine 80. Leave the SR where it is. Don't put in the calculator now. Shift everything to the other side, like multiply. This is a divide. When you shift it to the other side, it's going to be a multiply. By sine 55, let's see what we get. 124.76. You can round it to the whole number or one decimal place. Meters. Part C, calculate the total area of the two triangles. For this, you need the formula half AB sine C, where A and B are two sides and C is the included angle. So we can use, let's name it area 1. So total area will be area 1 plus area 2. In area 1, you can use this side as your A, this as your B, and the middle as your angle C. So we will write half times 150 times 124.8 times sine 45. Now for the area 2, we can use these two sides as A and B, and this is the C. Half times 150 times 120 times sine 25. You can substitute the whole thing in the calculator at one go, and we will get the answer 10,422 square meters. If you have the answer anything between 10,400, if you're rounding it to the whole number as three significant figures, or between 10,410 to 10,440, the answer will be acceptable. This question was very easy. You needed to know three formulas: how to find the area of a triangle, the cosine rule, and the sine rule. And if you knew these three things, you will have gotten 10 marks. So please memorize the formulas. Question number 5. The diagram shows a field ABCD. The bearing of B from A is 140. C is due east of B and D is due north of C. It means C and D will be both 90 degrees. We have been given AB, BC, and CD. Now we have to find the bearing of D from B. Please watch the video on bearing which I have posted. You will understand it much better. So we want of D from B. This is the bearing we are looking from. You always go to the point where the from is there. So from B, we go to B, and then we move clockwise. So this is the angle we are looking for. If we can find this angle, we will come to know we'll come to know this B, because this will be equal to this, as we have two lines that are parallel. So using the alternate angle theorem, the angle X will equal to angle X. This is a right angle, so we can use trigonometry. And what do we have? We have opposite. And this is adjacent. So we can use 10. 10x is equal to 350 over 450. X is equal to 10 inverse. Whenever you want to find angle in trigonometry, we write 10 inverse or cos inverse. 350 over 450, this will give us 37.87, which we can round it to 37.9. So this is 37.9, therefore this will also be 37.9. Bearing is always 3-digit before the decimal, so put a 037.9. In part B, we have to find the distance D to A. It's a 6 marks question. You will have to slowly think about it and solve. Let's understand that if you draw a line from B and angle, the bearing of B from A is given, so that is 140, therefore this will be 40. If two lines are parallel, the opposite angle is equal to 180. So if this is 140, this is going to be 40. The other thing we have is this line is parallel to this line. So therefore, if this is 90 degrees, even this will be 90 degrees. And so will be this side. So we have a right angle triangle here. Why am I solving this? If I find this length, let's name this as x. If I find ax and dx, I can find AD. If I have two sides, I can use the Pythagoras theorem to find AD. And let's name this as y. So first we are going to find AY by using trigonometry. We have sine, cos, and tan. So, ka, toa, where O is your opposite, H is your hypotenuse, and A is adjacent. So if we are talking about the angle at B, we need to find opposite, right? The opposite side. And the side opposite the right angle is your hypotenuse. So we have the hypotenuse. It means we are going to use sine. Sine 40 is equal to opposite, which is AY, over hypotenuse, which is 400. Cross it to the other side, it will become multiply. This is our AY, 257.1 meters. Now we need to find this side here. How will we find that? It's 350, we have been given that. So this is 350 meters. We found AX. It is 350 plus 257.1, that is 607.1. Now we have to find dx. To find dx, we need to know cx. So from the total DC, we have this whole line which is 450. From that, if we subtract this part, we are going to be left with dx. So we need to find this line. This is equal to this. So if I find, let's name this y. So if I find by, it is going to be the same as cx. How can we find by? You can find by using the Pythagoras theorem or trigonometry. Whenever it's a right angle triangle, if two sides are given, Pythagoras theorem works. And if one side and an angle, which we have, is given, trigonometry works. So let's try trigonometry here. We have the angle and we have the opposite. And you want to find the adjacent, which is by. So you understood well that you need to find, you need to use 10. 1040 is equal to opposite, which is 257.1 over adjacent, which is by. Cross multiply. This will give us 306.39. We will round it to one decimal, 306.4 meters. Now that we know that this is 306.4 meters, we can find dx by subtracting from 400 306.4. That is our dx. Sorry, it is 450 here. And that will give us 143.6. So this is 143.6. We know this is a right angle triangle. We will use the Pythagoras theorem, which is a square plus b square is equal to c square. C is the hypotenuse, the side opposite the right angle, which is AD square. So 607.1 square plus 143.6 square. The whole answer we are going to square root it. You can solve it individually or Step by step, it's fine. And we found that AD is equal to 623.85. You can round it to 2 decimal place, 1 decimal place, or whole number. Meter. So I hope you have understood the question. The next question, a Juno runs the field from A to B, from B to C, C to D, and D to A at a speed of 3 meters per second. We have to calculate the total time Juno takes, and we want the answer in minutes and seconds. A very easy question. Time is equal to distance over speed. So the distance has been given to us. It's 400 plus 350 plus 450 plus 624. And speed is 3 meters per second. This will give us 608. Remember, it is meter per second. This is second. So you have to change it into minutes and seconds. Divide your answer by 60. And write it in a mixed number. First, when you divide it, you will get 152 over 15. Don't write it as decimal. And then change it to mixed number, which is 10 2 over 15. Above your delete button, there is this SD, something like that. After you get this answer, just press that button, shift and press this button, shift and press this button. This is what you are going to get. Then 2 over 15, so the minutes are 10. And 2 over 15, to change it into seconds, multiply by 60. That will be giving us 8. So 10 minutes and 8 seconds. It's very easy to solve if you change it into mixed number, whether you are changing hours to minutes or either way around. Question number 6 is a function question. This is a function question. We have been given 3 functions. And the first one is find h of 4. It just means in the function h of x, wherever there is x, we replace it with 4. And that will give us 256. Find f of g1. When the value is given to us, first we are going to find g1. You can look at it for more details at the function video which I have made. Replacing the x with 1, I got g of 1 is 2. Now f of g1. In the function f of x, I'm going to replace the x with 2. That will give us 8. Next, g f of x in the form ax squared plus bx plus c. Because there is no number, we cannot apply the method we used up. If there is no number and there is x, we go from the outside function to inside. So write down your g of x. G of x is x squared plus 1. Now in place of x, replace it with the function f. And there's a square out, so we expand the bracket. Please learn to use the identity a plus b square. You will need it so often till you finish schooling, so better start learning that. What is your a? 3x. And your b is 2. The power 2 is for 3 and x, so you will get 9x squared plus multiply the numbers 2 multiply by 3 multiply by 2. You will get 12x plus 4. So you have 9x squared plus 12x plus 4 plus 1, this one. which will give us 9x squared plus 12x plus 5. If you don't remember the identity, you can just expand the bracket normally by writing it 2 times like this. Part D, find x when f of x is equal to g of x. So first we are going to find g of x. Replacing the x with 7, we will get 50. F of x is 3x plus 2. Now we'll make it equal to g of 7, which is 50. Plus 2, when we shift there, it will be negative 2. That will give us 48. Therefore, x is equal to 48 divided by 3, which is 16. Find f inverse x. In place of f of x, we are going to write y. And we have to make x the subject. So we have to shift everything to the other side. We will start with shifting the plus or minus. So plus 2 will become negative 2. And 3x means 3 multiplied by x. When we shift it to the other side, it will be a divide. After you make x the subject, in place of x, write f inverse x. And replace y with x. So this is the answer, x minus 2 over 3. The next part is find g of x over f of x plus x. G of x is x squared plus 1 and f of x is 3x plus 2 plus x. As you can see, this is an algebraic fraction. Whether it is an algebraic fraction or normal fraction, when you add or subtract, you follow certain rules. One of them is that you need to have a common denominator. As we don't have any denominator here, we know there is a 1. So we'll times it with this denominator, 3x plus 2. And if we multiply in the denominator, we also have to multiply in the numerator. Now both the denominators are same, so we can write it as one denominator. X times 3x will give us 3x squared, and x times 2 will give us 2x. Add the like terms together, so x squared plus 3x squared will give you 4x squared plus 2x plus 1 over 3x plus 2. This was an easy 3-mark question. Part G, find x when h inverse x is equal to 2. It's only a 1-mark question. So instead of learning how to find the inverse, because the actual working is quite long, we know that we replace the x with y in the inverse, right? So h inverse x is equal to 2. Let's first write it as y is equal to 4 to the power of x. We replace the x and the y, correct? After this step, whatever your inverse is equal to, it is equal to 2. Replace the y with that number. So x is equal to 16. This question comes quite often, so just remember this method. This brings us to the end of this video. For question number 7 onwards, please watch part 3. If I've helped you, kindly share the video with your friends and like the video. Thank you for watching.